Welcome back, Flare community. Today, I'm going to be giving you a brief demo of the Flare Finance beta programs. Now, before we start, I'm assuming that you have gone through the process of setting up your wallet. The first thing that you want to do after doing that is claiming your test tokens. If you go to this website here, which I will link in the description of this video, you will be able to connect your MetaMask account and you'll be able to claim various tokens such as these. After you have claimed on the Coston network and the Ropsten network, you'll then be able to start the process. The difference between the Coston and Ropsten networks is that the Coston network is imitating Ethereum's network, while the Ropsten network is imitating the Flare network. We'll get into that in a second. The first thing you should do is click over to this wrap application. Flare wrap is a way to bridge different networks. It can easily bring off-chain assets on-chain without the need for an exchange. This means that we're going to transfer USDT or Tether over to XUSD on the Flare network. So when you initially start, you will be airdropped some USDT into your Tether wallet, which will be on the Ropsten test network, which would be this. As I've gone through the process, I don't have any at the minute. So let's just imagine this was 1000. You would type in 1000 here, and then what will happen is you will need to swap this into XUSD, and this will be the bridge between the assets going from the Ethereum network, or what we can call the Ropsten testnet, over to the Coston testnet, which is imitating the Flare network. Once you have gone through this procedure and you have your XUSDT, you will then be able to begin using the functionality of the Flare Finance applications, and you will no longer need to visit this page. The first page that I want to demonstrate to you is the swap page. This is Flare X and is basically a decentralized exchange. It will allow you to transfer from one asset into another in a decentralized manner. Now, you'll be able to notice that there is a liquidity provider fee. Well, that is essentially the fee that you will pay for transacting between two different assets, and this will be paid to the liquidity providers. The liquidity providers can be found on this page, the farm page. So if you want to participate in earning a yield on the assets which you own, you can provide them to a liquidity pool. Now, many of these have varying APYs, or annual percentage yields. And as you can see, some of these where they have two assets, they are more substantial. So this is why I have chosen as a strategy to focus on these particular pools. Now, I know that when people get started, they can easily interact with just a single asset pool. And this is a very simple process. If you have Dogecoin, for example, FDoge, you can click stake and you can click however much you want. And this is based on the assets which you hold in your wallet. As you can see below, I have 369 FDoge. In contrast, when you try to provide liquidity for a two pairing pool, like this for example, even if you had both the assets, XUSDT XUSD, sorry, and F Doge, and you try to stake that, you will more than likely see this, a 0, even though you have both of the assets mentioned. Now, this is a very common question and a very common problem, sorry. I'm going to show you why this remains a 0. So the next step, if you want to provide liquidity for these types of liquidity pools, is to go back to the swap page. Now, in the swap page, there is also this pool tab. The pool tab lets you create liquidity between two different pairs. Let's go back to the example where we had US dollars and we had F Doge. When you stake in this particular pool or any pool, you will need to supply equal amounts of each asset. So for example, if I was to try and provide liquidity for 100x US dollars, this amount corresponds to this amount. So 2,816 F Doge will cost you $100. If you had the correct balance, obviously I don't right now, but you could click this and that would then provide the liquidity. The next thing you would have to do is to go to the relevant pairing, such as this one, and then you would click the approve, but obviously here. And then at this point you will be able to go back into the farm. At this point, when you come back, you will then be able to provide the liquidity simply by staking it. And when you have assets in these liquidity pools, you are providing liquidity for the decentralized exchange, which means that if anyone was to buy Dogecoin or US dollars, they would pay you a small fee. Now, I hope that this has given you some clarity, especially using the paired pools. The idea is to gain as much value in your wallets as possible, and if you are successful and in the top 250, you might just get a Flare Finance NFT. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and I really hope this brings some clarity to the Flare Finance beta test. Until next time, I'm out.